How to create a winning speech. Of course, we're in the middle of a contest. Everyone wants to know how to win a contest. What's the best speech I can create? And how do I do that? That's not what I'm speaking about today. What I'm speaking about today is how to create a winning speech to win the hearts and minds of your audience, whomever they are. Whether it's a one-on-one sales pitch or whether it's before that 100-people congregation. And I'm going to use an acronym. Don't you hate that? WIN. Number 1, words. Words, as far as I am concerned, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And we can speak life into an audience, or we can kill an audience. Choose the words you use wisely. I like power words. Exceptional, excellent, beautiful, outstanding, as opposed to good, okay, that's nice. I like energy, as you can tell, passion behind my words, because words have power. I love the late, great Jim Rohn, a master motivator and speaker, spoke of words. And he said, with words, it can be like a needle. And with a needle, you can make a fine prick and maybe take some blood. But you can take that same needle and you can tape it to a pole and ram it into someone's chest and cause some serious damage. Words are just like that. When you're using words, jargon is one of the things that tends to fall out of our mouths, especially if we're in sales or in a specialty such as engineering. Engineers are like that. They love words that make no sense to anyone except engineers. If we use jargon, explain it. Don't just throw it out there and leave it. Another classic. Jim Rohn met a young man, came up to him and he said, you know, Mr. Rohn, we need to get into the Word. People need to get into the Word. You may relate to this better than others. And Jim Rohn kind of looked and thought to himself, into the Word? How small do you have to be to get into the Word? Well, obviously, this young man was speaking of the Bible. The Word of the Bible. But would you have to be black and white only? Or maybe the red letters? When we use jargon, explain it. Because the people in a room may not know it. Words have power. Next in line with win, for me, is intention. I have to intend a result in my communication. My intention begins before the speech. I have an intention on what I wish to create with the opening. For me, I'd like to get a little bit of a connection going with the people in the audience. Or I may open with a question that intends for people to think and become part of what I'm communicating. Next, I have to have an intention for the body. What is the intention? What is it I'm intending to have people receive? There's power in intention. My granddaughter came up to me this last weekend with a pair of magnets. And she started to push them together and they pushed apart. I said, isn't that amazing? You can't see anything between those magnets, but they're pushing really hard to keep from coming together, aren't they? There's some energy between those magnets. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Intention is just that. It is an energy that you don't see, but you can feel. What is your intention with your audience? And last but not least is niche. Focus on a passion, something you love that you have energy on, something you know about, a niche, not flippant, airy-fairy, I'm going to speak on this today because they said so. No, speak on what you know, because then you are able to communicate clearly about it. Stick within your niche, and if you don't know a subject, study it prior to the communicating about it. Use a niche. When you do, you can infect your audience with passion. You can create a winning speech because the intention is there to win the audience over to your idea, your concept, your product. Use your words wisely. Choose them. And if you use jargon, be certain to communicate exactly what it means. Some of us may not be here to really catch up on it. To create a winning speech.